All right, I wanted to show you our current process for lesson and unit planning. So what we do is we start in a custom app in Google AI Studio. We put in the outcomes and we select the new metric competency we would like to create the unit around. What this will do is it will generate some learning intentions and success criteria based on custom instructions around transfer learning intentions and success criteria for surface deep and transfer learning, with specific verbs utilized in each of those surface deep and transfer areas. We can then generate a suggested lesson outline and suggested assessments as for and of learning based on that success criteria and learning intentions and the outcomes above. So you can see here, it's a suggested outline with some assessment ideas. What we can do then is get a text-based document for us to edit if we feel like we need to. What I would often do is run that multiple times because it's going to give us different suggestions every time. So I can select from the best ones. And then within this text-based document, we can edit this based on our needs before we move on to the next step of our unit and lesson planning. So next we're going to go to a custom gem that I've created in Google Gemini based on my specific needs as the way I like to teach as a teacher and the way I like to set up my lesson plans. So I'm going to attach that text-based document, which would normally be an edited document, not just what's given to me. But in this case, we're just going to use the one that's given to me. And then I'm going to ask it to create me the way it's set up. It's going to create 3 periods a week based on the 10-week outline and the competency and the outcomes and the success criteria and learning intentions provided. So you can see, based on my custom instructions, it's setting up my lessons for me. So what I would usually do is I'd take these lessons as created, put it into a Word document, and then I can go through the lessons one by one, resequence them, change some of the assessment ideas, change some of the activity ideas that it's providing me. But in this instance, I'm just going to copy and paste this over to the next step of my AI journey of planning units and planning lessons. So let's just copy this week one plan here. And then next we're going to head to Canva AI. So the first thing I often do in Canva AI is I get it to create a presentation based on the lesson idea for me. So here we're just selecting the presentation in Canva AI, and then I'm going to pop in the activity, or in this case, just the whole lesson plan for it to create a presentation for me to use as modeled instruction in the class. The great thing about using Canva AI is it's going to be looking good straight away as an engaging lesson, but then I can edit anything that provides me as well. So here it's going off and coming up with some suggestions for me. And then in Canva AI, what you can do is you can click on any of the suggestions. It's going to pop it up as a preview on the right-hand side. So we can look through the presentation that it's provided for us. And then if we're not happy with the colors, we can change the colors there as well in the preview. But then at the top right, you'll see there's a use the Canva editor where we can go and edit any of these details for our presentation. Depending on the lesson, we'll go and create a couple of other resources in Canva AI as well. So as an example, you can go and create a student worksheet that you could embed in your Canvas course or LMS, or you can print out for students to use on the lesson itself. So in this instance, I'll just ask it to go and create a worksheet based on the lesson plan. So Canva will go and use Canva Docs and create a worksheet suggestion for me. And then same as the presentation, I can go and click on the preview and then see what's suggested by Canva AI. And then at the top right, you can see I've got to go straight into the Canva editor where I can go and edit this worksheet. Take out aspects or add in aspects that I'd like to use in the classroom, however I'd like to use it. For example, the top part here says we can get the students to fill in some information. So I'll just, if I was printing this out, I'd add extra space for the students to have spaces to write or add in lines, set dot points. Here's the think, pair, share activity that it suggested. So I add space in there for the students to write in as an example as well. You can see it's talking about the success criteria. So students are doing self-assessment based on the success criteria of the lesson that was provided for me. Another thing you can do is you can go and create custom apps for other resources that you like using in the classroom. So as an example here, I've just created a Google AI Studio app that has some suggestions based on my lesson outline. So here I'll just go and create a reading because it was talking about what is geography, which is based around a definition. So I'll get it to create a reading that I can adjust based on what is geography. And again, this is all custom instructions and the way I like it set up. So I've got it to generate an image above and a couple of paragraphs that I can use. I can download it as a PDF. And the fact that I'm downloading it as a PDF to take it into uh, chats for me to go and customize this reading before I go and edit it. So here I'm adding the PDF in as reference material for me to then differentiate the reading based on the different reading levels in my class. So what we can do is we can just get it to create a simplified reading level. And then for my simplified reading levels in this task is a stage 4 task. So I'll get it to be not just simplified, but a lot more scannable for those students who lack the ability or don't have the reading abilities yet. And then I'll get a more advanced one for the students that do have the higher reading ability that would like to add in some vocabulary for me to go and edit the reading to add to the worksheet and the modeled presentation lesson. And then in a few minutes, I've planned out my unit. I've got my lessons planned out, and I now have some resources to use in the classroom, differentiated for different reading levels based on the task. So obviously, you'll spend more time editing the resources as you go along and making it more individualized for yourself.